Hello, sunshines, and welcome to another episode of Directions from Your Spiritual Tour Guide podcast. My name is Shanel Scott. I am your host and your spiritual tour guide, here to take you for a little journey of healing with the chakras. Yes, this is something I've talked about before. So if you want to know a little more detail about the chakras, head on over to episode 7. And I kind of explain the chakras a little bit more in detail, what that energy system is, why it's there, that good stuff. But today I wanted to really talk about healing through the chakras. This is a topic that keeps coming up for me, and I'm actually teaching a 3-part series workshop, digging a little bit deeper into this topic. So if you are interested in learning more, there are 3 workshops coming up. You can check it out on my website, fromtheheartandsoul.com, and you can sign up. Even if you miss one, you will get the recording for it and meditations, all that good stuff. So jump on over and get yourself registered. If you register for all 3 as a bonus, I will give you a PDF download of this beauty, which is my 3-page chakra chart. This was a labor of love, and it is something that I've used in my healing practice for a very long time. I give it to my Reiki students. That's coming up too, April 2nd, in the Hamilton area if you're interested in learning. But this topic has huge potential for showing you some areas that are just out of balance. And I think this came up for me. I was working on something to do with the chakras, meditation for my Divine Map membership. It is the healing meditation for February or March, I can't remember. They all blend together after a while. And I took them on a journey through the chakras. And as I was setting up this meditation and arranging it to be able to share it, I had this realization that some of my lower chakras were kind of out of balance, and I wasn't aware of it. I wasn't paying attention. I shouldn't say I wasn't paying attention, because I recognized the issues, but I just didn't recognize what they were connected to until I pulled out the chakra chart. And then I was like, oh yeah, this makes so much sense. And it helped me to understand what I can do to rebalance those chakras and do some deeper healing work around the reasons why they were imbalanced. So each chakra is related to different areas of our body and have a different overwhelming or overall theme for each chakra. So when we look at each one, we can see what the theme is for it. And by taking a look, we can also, by taking a look at kind of where it's dysfunctional, what are the things that might come up if there is an imbalance, as in not enough energy in this chakra, or if there's excessive energy in this chakra, how is that going to show up? And then physically, what kind of physical ailments can also show up that are related to this chakra? So it can be really interesting to see. You're like, oh, wait a second, that has to do with that, and oh, right. And the thing is that when our chakras are out of balance, it can unbalance more chakras. It can unbalance more things in our lives, and it can take us away from something that we're trying to work towards when we don't realize it. So I wanted to talk about the base chakra. That is what we're covering in the first workshop. We're covering the bottom 3 chakras, but I just thought I'd give you a little tidbit on the base one, because I think it's something that we can all relate to. Money issues. Our money belief systems, our money issues, our relationship with money is kind of connected to our root chakra, because our root chakra is about how we show up in the world and how we move in this world. Our lower 3 chakras are kind of more related to our physical needs versus our emotional and our spiritual needs, although those come in there too. But they are kind of more of our physical chakras, the physical things that we need in our lives, especially the base chakra. It is our survival. So food, clothing, roof over our head, medicine if we're sick, all those things. But money comes into that. So money will come in, and our relationship with money based on our root chakra. So if we're somebody that doesn't have a healthy relationship with money, then our root chakra can become out of balance. And when our root chakra becomes out of balance, kind of think of it as like Jenga almost. If you are pulling blocks from the bottom and it's getting wobbly, then everything above it is wobbling around. So when our bottom chakras are out of balance, it is a much bigger deal than when our upper chakras, which are more of our spiritual chakras, are out of balance. Yeah, of course we don't want our heart or our throat chakra out of balance. But if your crown chakra maybe isn't completely balanced, that's your divine connection. It might not be as big of a deal as your root survival. So can you see where I'm going with this? How what part of our chakra system is out of balance can really affect it in a different way. Our divine connection may not affect us as deeply as our survival and how we show up in the world. Our divine connection might affect kind of our heart chakra or our throat chakra and our emotional balance, whereas something that is physical will unbalance both our mental and our emotional, as well as our physical, spiritual kind of connections. A little bit of everything all rolled together. Now, there's lots of ways to connect to how your chakras are imbalanced. For example, mine was this awareness of when I just pulled out my chakra chart and I was looking at it, I was like, wait a second, I have a little imbalance going on around here. Like, let me just address some of these things that are affecting me right now so that I can move things back into place of balance again. So doing a little research sometimes can help you to just kind of go, oh, going to a healer is always a great idea. So going to a healer, they're going to have a deeper understanding of your chakra system and probably your energetic body and that connection to the divine so that they can help you. For me, there is an awareness when someone comes in on the areas that are going to be out of whack really quickly based on what they're telling me, what I'm drawn to. When I used to do in-person healing sessions, I would set up a cloth under the table with crystals on it. The color of the cloth that I chose would tell me about what area was imbalanced, as well as the crystals that I chose. So same thing for you. If you feel really drawn to something, there's even a great article, Eating for Your Chakras. So if you check that one out, if there's a food that you're drawn to, it might be related to the chakra that's imbalanced. And I always remember, I give that article in my Reiki classes. And I remember a student saying to me, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. She's like, I crave grapefruit juice. And she has a thyroid problem. So that's a throat chakra issue. Typically, communication. Thyroid's often we never say no kind of problem. We don't put ourselves first. We don't ever say no to things. We say yes to everything. That tends to be a thyroid issue. So it was interesting that she immediately was like, oh my goodness, this connects for me, right? And it's going to be different for everybody, don't get me wrong. But it's interesting when you see those things. So, if you have a crystal collection and you're all of a sudden really drawn to a certain crystal, see if it's connected to one of your chakras. And maybe it's something that you need right now, or it's a chakra that's out of balance for you and you're just trying to rebalance it. Yesterday I was working on a crystal workshop, and it was funny because I had picked up a piece of a crystal that was on my desk, because I always have crystals on my desk, and I have a few touchstones. They have a little groove for your thumb, and I can rub it while I'm thinking, and it helps me to connect and to think and all that good stuff. And it was one that I picked up that was everything that I needed in that moment. And it was part of my course. So as I was kind of writing things down about it, I was like, oh yeah, that is what I'm holding right now. And oh, that is what I need right now as well. So acknowledging those things. So noticing, crystals, even essential oils, they're often connected to our different chakra system. even things like all of our senses are connected to our chakra system. So, if you have, for example, let me see here. Sometimes because the senses I don't use a lot. Same with the elements. So earth, of course, for the root chakra, and it is related to our smells. So you might have the desire to diffuse essential oils or burn a candle, maybe because you just need to infuse that. Same thing, cooking. That can really ground us down and connect us to that root chakra, because food is related to our root chakra. That's a survival thing, right? So it's incredible how we see all these incredible connections: smell, food, survival, all those things that come together. Same thing, scent. Our scent back in the day was something that we would have used to help to decipher if something was safe or not. Maybe you can smell something rotting, and so you don't eat it. Or maybe you smell a wild animal, close by, fresh scat, or just their scent, and you're like, okay, it's not safe to go that way. There's so many things that are interconnected and joined to help us to understand and to, deepen our awareness of these systems, these energy centers in our body. Sometimes the dysfunction is really small, and sometimes it's really big. Now, the more out of balance something is, the more it is going to tend to show up physically. The less it is, it might be more of a spiritual or mental, emotional kind of thing that you can find awareness of, and it's not necessarily showing up physical. But it was interesting because even for me, when I looked again at that root chakra and things being out of balance, at one point there I was stress eating. Oh yeah, who hasn't, right? So I was stress eating, and I was like, oh, wait a second. Basic needs aren't being met. What's going on here? So then I kind of did some awareness around like what was happening for me, and was able to be like, okay, I don't need to do that. This is what's going on, and I'm going to do some healing work around that. Yeah, as a healer, I heal all the time, and not just my students and my clients, but I have to heal myself constantly. We are constantly in a state of flux of learning and growing and evolving. So the soul work that comes along with that is huge. Having a deeper understanding of myself and what's going on helps me to show up better for my clients and my students. So let's talk about some of the ways we can kind of reconnect to our chakra system and to find a little more balance. Now, the reality is that we are not meant to be in perfect harmony and perfect balance all the time. That's not realistic. We are always going to have chakras that are slightly out of balance and slightly out of whack. Something as simple as not getting enough sleep at night can, offset our chakra system. The goal isn't to be completely balanced and aligned 24/7. It's about kind of the moderation of it, that things are kind of working in the way that they're supposed to. We're never going to have that complete alignment, especially in those upper chakras, because if we are working on our intuition and our divine connection, those things might be really big and excessive because we're working on those things in this time and this place. Our bottom three chakras, though, we kind of want those ones a little more balanced most of the time, just saying. So I love meditation. It's a great way to easily tap into your energy centers and to kind of balance them out. And this doesn't have to be a chakra meditation. It can simply be just meditation in general. Meditation helps us to calm and get centered, to have a greater awareness of our being and our chakra system, our energy centers, our body, our etheric body. It gives us a deeper understanding, a deeper awareness. So meditation in general can be really helpful, but there are tons of healing meditations out there for your chakras. I have recorded a few over the years that are just a chakra meditation, as well as I've created yoga nidra that are specific to each of the chakra systems, so that they're actually working on healing those energy centers specifically. So meditation is a great way to do it. I love Reiki, or energy work in general. I don't know that you need to label it Reiki necessarily, but energy work, and you can actually feel your energy centers. You can connect to that and create more balance or centeredness into it. I love using a pendulum when it comes to the chakra system. So you can go over with your pendulum and you can draw out negative energy and infuse positive energy to find them balanced. You can also use a pendulum to check the balance of a chakra. So as a healer, sometimes one of those things that I would do is pull out my pendulum and just hold it over to see what direction the chakra is spinning in, what speed, what size, because that will tell me something about that chakra and what's out of balance. Like I said, what are you drawn to? So if you're somebody that really loves essential oils, maybe you can create chakra blends for yourself based on the things that are happening in your life. Maybe there's a specific chakra that you're working on and you create a few essential oils that come together to balance out that chakra. Or maybe there's a few things that you know that you need, and so you create a blend that has essential oils that are connected to multiple chakras to bring them together for a beautiful chakra blend to help with that essential, diffusing that essential oil and helping to heal. Carrying or wearing crystals. One of the common ones you'll see is a mala or a bracelet that has the chakras stones in it, whether they're the color or just stones related to. That can be really beneficial in just kind of balancing out the chakra system. So wearing a stone that's specifically related to the chakra that you are experiencing issue with, or having something that is related to all the chakras so that you're kind of creating that balance for yourself. So crystals are a really great way to do that. Sound is so beautiful. MC Yoga has a song that's all about the chakras, and he goes through the seed sounds of each of the chakras. I love that song. It just kind of like radiates through your body. Another really beautiful one that seems to be really popular right now is sound bathing or sound healing, crystal singing bowls, tuning forks. The seed sounds for each of the chakras are related to the bowls. I always loved being at like a spiritual event and somebody pulling out a bowl and being like, what chakra is this related to? And they'd bring it and you'd be like, oh, because you'd feel it where it's supposed to like resonate. Root chakra bowls are not common, and they have a really low kind of tone, but oh my goodness, it's like your whole pelvis kind of vibrates when you hear the sound of it because it's so connecting. So sound therapy is a great way to connect to healing the chakras as well. I'm trying to think of anything else that I do. I find too, just getting out in nature is always healing, but that is one that can just help you to get grounded and reconnected. Anything that you do where you have an awareness of your body can be really powerful. Over my many, many years of teaching yoga, I've done chakra series over and over again where I have related the theme of my yoga class to a different chakra to bring healing to that chakra. And I've done that quite a bit over the years as well. So there is so many things that you can do to help you bring back into that balance. But let me say it again. The goal isn't to be in complete balance all the time. It's just not possible. It is not that we don't have that magical thing that's just going to keep us in line. It's like that magnet that science lines up all the chakras and keeps them spinning it perfectly. It's not realistic. It's not realistic, and it's okay that we have chakras out of balance. We just don't want them like severely out of balance. So, yeah, there's my little rant about chakra healing today. I love working with the chakra system. Like I said, it has so much to offer, so much awareness, so much awakening that can happen by digging into the information regarding the chakras. So I hope you can join me for my 3-part series. Number 1 is on Monday, March 27th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Zoom. We are talking about the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra, our 3 bottom chakras, are kind of more physical chakras, talking about, how they can get imbalanced, what's going on there when they're imbalanced, and of course a beautiful meditation to help just kind of balance things back out again. Again, bonus, if you sign up for all 3 workshops, I will send you the PDF for the chakra chart, my little dream chakra chart.
Good afternoon.
As my Mickey watch went off as I'm fidgeting. So yeah, check it out. I'd love to have you there. The recordings are all in my portal. So if you are interested in just diving into the recordings, that's always an option as well. They will be available for purchase through my website when it's all said and done. Yeah, thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.